Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to another Marvel Champions Hero Pack. This is for Storm of the X-Men. So we're continuing with the X-Men line. This would be our 6th character, Colossus and Shadowcat in the campaign set Mutant Genesis. Then we had Cyclops and Phoenix. Previously released with this is we also, at the same time, is we had Wolverine, who is very aggressive. And now we're going to get Storm, who's going to be, I think, a lot less aggressive, but it is Storm, so you never know. Alright, let's hop in. We got her poster here, of course. On the back side, we're going to get a look at her brief description. So she has a special weather deck. Mutant powers always control weather, represent an incredible ability to begin each game with a special 4-card weather deck in addition to her player deck. So to create the weather deck, shuffle all 4 of her weather cards, then place the weather deck face down your identity. So Doctor Strange had a similar concept with his, I think it was Conjuration deck. So it'll be just stuff that'll help you out there. Then we have some new icons and keywords. So these are stuff we've seen in previous sets, but they're maybe new from the base game. Amplify icon. The amplifying icon increases the number of boost icons on a boost card. When a boost card is turned face up during enemy activation, add 1 additional boost icon to that card for each amplify icon in play. Keyword permanent. Card with permanent stays and cannot be defeated. Lead player have any part of its text box blank. It is not applied to cards within the same set as the card with permanent. And then we have keyword piercing. An attack with piercing discards any tough status card before the attack deals damage, and stalwart. Character stalwart cannot be stunned. So we have Storm is going to have the leadership. So tying her with Wolverine is aggression. She'll have leadership, which definitely makes sense. Because Storm has been the leader of the X-Men more than one time. So let's hop in and see what she does. So we have her alter ego side. Aurora Monroe, 3 recovery, which is pretty general. Mutant, when Aurora Monroe begins the game with the weather deck, see insert, I feel a storm coming. Setup, choose to perform, choose a support from the weather deck and put it into play. So you can start with one of your weathers in play. 6 health, or 6 hand size, 10 health. And I flip her over to Storm. She gets 1 thwart, 2 attack, 1 defense. X-Men Weather Control actions. Swap one of your weather support in play with a support of your choice from the weather deck. Resolve the special ability on your weather support in play. Limit once per round. So she's going to have this extra deck that can swap through various weather cards, which will give her various different conditions to do. So she gets to start with one in the play. You get to pick which one you want to start with. Then as an X-Men or as a hero side, you can choose to swap one out to perform its special ability. Some of them you might want to keep into play because they have permanent abilities, so you might want to keep that permanent ability. Other times you might want to swap it because that special effect might be better. Plus she has other cards in her deck that interact depending on which one you have out. So you might swap it for the fact of that. So let's look at her weather cards. So on the bottom here, we'll say Weather Deck 1 of 4. So no cost. Support has permanent, so it can't get rid of. And has a weather. So you have Clear Skies. Each character gains Stalwart and special draw 1 card. So now this is what is really interesting about her cards. Is it affects everybody. It's not just her, not just you and your allies, not just you and your teammate. Its main hero. It's you, your teammate, your allies, their allies, any villains, any minions, anybody that's out has the same ability. So you really have to pay attention to how it works, which makes sense. She's casting weather. Although she's been showing to be able to like direct it in certain ways, which her abilities do. If she's just starting the overall weather, it's affecting whoever's in the area. So it's a really neat idea for this mechanic. So yeah, if you switch to this one, you can do that draw 1 card. Otherwise, everyone gets Stalwart. which just means they... I just read that and I already forgot it. Can't be stunned or confused. So again, this could team up with Wolverine nicely because you don't want him stunned or confused. We have Hurricane. Each player gains Retaliate 1. Then special, remove 2 threats from a steam. So again, them specials are really going to be helpful, but maybe you need to get rid of that Retaliate. Hey, we need to attack. We don't want to have to deal with other players, the villains or minions retaliating against us. We'll switch off the Hurricane, but like when we're on the defensive side, this might be a good one to have out. Thunderstorm. Each character gets 1 attack. And special, deal 2 damage to an enemy. So again, kind of the same exact idea. And then Blizzard. Each character gets -1 attack. Special, choose a non-elite minion. Till the end of the round, treat that minion's text box as if it were blank, except for traits. It's definitely fun. It'd be interesting to see how you play these and which one you switch to at which time. Working with your teammates. Especially if you're playing like a 4-player game, you have 3 other people to take into account for. Alright, then let's look at her rest of her actual deck, which is Storm. So she has a 2-cost upgrade, Storm's Crown. This is an item. She gets +1 thwart. Hero resource, exhaust Storm's Crown. Generate the printed resource on your weather support. So that's kind of fun, because on the bottom of each card, she has 1 for each different resource. So basically you can determine if you just need a free resource, boom. She gets 1 free resource from this card every turn you want to spend it. Or if you need a specific one, you can switch to a specific color and get it that way. So it might be a different reason why you swap the weather. Her upgrade for 3 costs is Storm's Cape, which gets her +1 defense and gains the aerial trait. Hero response. After resolve the special ability on your weather support, exhaust Storm's Cape to ready Storm. So that's kind of fun, because then you could exhaust her a second time to use a different weather one, or you could attack with her or do something. So it gives you some good options. Plus, if you have both the Cape and the Crown attached, her stats are 2, 2, and 2, which are pretty good stats. She has a location. I love that all the X-Men come with their own location. So she has Aurora's Garden. 1 cost support. Alter Ego action. Exhaust Aurora's Garden to heal 2 damage from your identity. The true measure of life is in the living. So yeah, here just be able to heal is not a bad thing to have. Now if she does take damage, she can at least have some way to heal up from it quick. Alright, then her power cards. She has 3 copies of Weather Goddess. 0 cost event, superpower. Hero action, swap your weather support in play with a support of your choice from the weather deck. Resolve the special ability on your weather support in play. So this lets her do that for free. Otherwise, again, normally, she can spend an action to swap it. With her regular thing, this lets her do it again. It lets her play it special. Again, she can utilize playing them specials multiple times. Draw a card, do damage, blank someone's text box. Lots of fun different stuff she can play with that. The elements marshal their infinite might as at my beckon. And then to play on each one of them, she has 3 copies of Torrential Rain, Superpower Thwart, Hero action, remove 3 threat from among the steams in play. If Hurricane is in play, resolve its special ability. So this is where her weather deck gets really fun. So if you have Hurricane in play, which gives every character retaliate, so she's trying to remove threats anyhow, so she's not, with this card, she's not really worried about the attacking portion of it. She also gets to remove 2 threats from a steam. So if she plays this with Hurricane in play, she gets to remove 3 from among the steams, not specifically 1. You can remove them however she wants, but then she gets to remove 2 additional ones as well. So yeah, playing these in them certain order are definitely great. 2 copies of Lightning Bolt, 3 cost event, attack superpower, hero action, deal 8 damage to an enemy. If Thunderstorm is in play, resolve its special ability. You know what happens to a villain when it's struck by lightning? Ooh, go off that classic X-Men line. So with Thunderstorm, she gets +1 attack, but she also deals 2 damage. So this basically lets her deal 10 damage if she has Thunderstorm into play. Again, it's kind of neat. Like, you can play off these different abilities like this. 2 copies of Flash Freeze. I love that, just Juggernaut frozen in ice. 1 cost event, defense and superpower. Hero interrupt defense. When the villain attacks you, the villain and each minion engaged with you gets -3 attack while attacking you this phase. If Blizzard is in play, resolve its special ability. Then Blizzard negates all of its special effects. Plus, they also gain, if this is in play, they also get -1 attack anyhow. So basically, if you have both of these out and you're worried about being attacked, you have -4 attack. Plus no special abilities. That's actually pretty good. So if they have something that makes you discard or do something else or draw a card, take extra damage, you can ignore all of that. And you might not even take damage from it. So she's had 1 for thwarting, 1 for attacking, 1 for defense, and her final one is 2 copies of Blast of Wind, which is a 3-cost event, superpower, hero action, choose a player, deal 3 damage to the villain and each minion engaged with that player. Resolve the special ability on your support weather. Because her 4th support card is just Clear Skies, she's not specified to one, this one works for any one of them. So you could deal that additional 2 damage to the villain, remove 2 threats from a scheme if you need to, blank their trait box, or if you play it with Clear Skies, you can always draw an extra card. So whatever you really need with this one, depending on what you want. Plus, the fact is you're dealing 3 damage to the villain and each minion engaged. This is helpful to help your teammates out. So you can do good attack with that 8 damage plus potentially 2. Defense, you can block a bunch of stuff, potentially up to 4. Attack, you can remove potentially up to 5 threats from a scheme. Or this one, you can help all your allies. So Storm is an all-around very good leader. She has leadership because she's all-around good at what do you need done and how do I need to do it. Like, in contrast, like, Cyclops is a good leader card as well. His stuff is all about, like, setting up for later attacks. His is, like, placing cards down, setting up for other people attacks. Like, Wolverine was all about just directly attacking. He's like, let me get in battle and do stuff. Storm's like, where do you need me? What do you need me to do? I will do it. She's definitely a fun, different character. And then let's look at her leadership card to see what that brings to the table. We're going to bring Havoc. Alex Summers, Cyclops' brother. 4 cost, 1 thwart, 2 attack, 3 health. Force interrupt. When Havoc attacks, discard the top card of the encounter deck. For each boost icon discard this way, Havoc gets +1 attack and takes +1 consequential damage. So he could basically take himself out very quickly. But it's also notable, his normal attack, he has no consequential damage. So straight off the bat, he's going to deal 2 damage. And then if you reveal none, then he just does 2 damage. If you reveal 1 icon, he'll do 3 damage, but he'll take 1 damage. So the only way you can kill him in 1 turn is you'd have to reveal 3, but at that point you're doing 5 damage, which is pretty darn powerful to begin with. And it kind of goes with his nature. Sometimes he overdoes it a bit. We're going to get Mirage, Danny Moonstar, 3 cost ally, 2 thwart, and 1 attack. Psyonix and X-Men. Response. After Mirage enters play, choose an enemy whose steam is less than Mirage's thwart. Stun that enemy. What you see is what you get. So that's actually a fun ability. She comes into play, you can stun an enemy. It's very conditional. It'd be kind of better if it was like when she thwarts, you could do that, like, instead, because then that way you'd have the opportunity to at least booster some, like you could play something that might upper thwart a little bit better. But just after Shanker's play, it's only going to be someone that has a steam of one or possibly two if you assume it's equal. So it's all right. I'd probably swap her out personally. But we have Genko, Nezo, Abagemai. I believe he's Wakandan, which works good with Storm. Says 3 ally, 3 cost, 1 thwart, 3 attack, 3 health. Genko takes 1 consequential damage after he attacks the village. Attacks the villain. So if he attacks minions, not that big of a deal, but if you haven't sent him towards a villain, he's going to take more damage. The more I use my power, the more it may kill me, but it'll take the risk to protect my friends. And then our last ally is we're going to get Pixie Megan Gwen. 2 cost ally, 1 thwart, 2 attack with 2 consequential and 2 health. If she attacks once, she's done. Which is Ariel and X-Men. Response. Actively Pixie from your hand, add an X-Men ally from your discard pile to your hand. She's a teleporter, so that's definitely fun. You can bring back some of your characters you've already used. So especially now you have like you have Genko here, who if he attacks is gonna take his damage, he's gonna die quicker, or Havoc does the same thing. Or even with Mirage, where if you use her coming to play ability, let her sacrifice herself to block or deal damage, and then Pixie can bring these guys right back. So that's definitely a cool thematic little thing there. So when I found I was a mutant, I thought my life was over, but then I joined the X-Men. Alright, then we have 3 copies of the Uncanny X-Men, which are a team card. 3 cost support. Play under any player's control, max 1 team card per player. Each of your X-Men allies gets +1 attack point. If each of your characters has the X-Men trait, each of your X-Men allies cost 1 fewer resource to play. So not only do they get stronger, you can also play them all cheaper. So it's definitely a neat idea to like have cards like this for each team. It's just basically rewarding you for playing characters of the same team versus spreading you out. Not that there's nothing wrong with that or spreading characters out. Like, oh, I want to play, some Avengers, some X-Men, some Guardians, some Spider-Man characters. Because some of them might have some different unique abilities, but this is kind of neat. So it gives you a good benefit of that. And then the fact that if you're playing, if I'm playing like 4 players and we're all playing X-Men, I could play this as another player's thing, and then if they all have X-Men, all their guys are cheaper too. So yeah, if you're playing 4 X-Men characters, you could basically help out everyone else. 3 copies of Leadership Skill. 1 cost upgrade. Use 3 leadership counters, max 1 per player. Again, you can play these on your allies, your other players. Interrupt. When an ally makes a basic thwart or basic attack action, move 1 leadership counter from there. That ally gets 1 thwart or 1 attack for that action. Definitely very powerful abilities. Again, this is only helping out the allies, but what's better than boosting up everyone else's allies? We have 3 copies of To Me, My X-Men. I love this all the different artwork on there, all the different characters. You have 1 cost event tactic. Play only if your identity has the X-Men trait. Hero action. Search the top 5 cards of your deck for an X-Men ally. Put it into play. If that ally is still in play at the end of the phase, add it to your hand. So you get free play on an X-Men. And then you get them back to your hand. Now, this is something where a character like Mirage would be really powerful. Like, because she does, I said, ability kind of sucks because you have to, like, you don't get to use it, but now if you could use her multiple times like that, or even someone like Pixie, when she comes into play, she gets to find a guy, then bring her back to her hand, then play her again. So definitely fun there. Then we have 2 copies of Effective Leadership Resource. These are the fun new resource cards. So instead of giving you bonuses like the original ones did for playing extra resources for playing cards of a certain color, you get a bonus for doing something that color card works good towards. So max 2 per deck, interrupt. When you spend this card to play an ally, that ally gains 1 thwart and 1 attack till the end of the phase. So yeah, you're only getting it 1 resource, but if you use this to play ally specifically, your ally is going to be better. And like the aggression one gives you better attack, defense gives you better defense. Justice, I believe, gives you better thwarting. So it's definitely a cool extra way to have just a resource card in your deck. You're going to have a card that's it's pretty much being used for. Why not boost up the other characters in your deck? Alright, basic cards. We have Forge. Of course, Forge has to be in here. Long-time lover of Storm. So definitely needed him in this set. So 2 cost ally, 1 thwart, 1 attack, 2 health. Response. After Forge enters play, search your deck and discard pile for an X-Men or X-Force support and add it to your hand. Shuffle. My name is Forge. Building is what I do. So yeah, definitely cool that you get one of these cards, X-Men or X-Force support. Add it to your hand. So it'd be any of your ally cards. No, allies are allies. So oh, this is why. I said, why it's not so much. No, it's because it makes sense. I said, it only makes sense for him to find allies. No, he's gonna find your vehicles and your buildings. This is definitely fun. But again, you could use that one other card that we saw earlier, To Me My X-Men, to search it. If you found him, you get to play him for free. Then you get to find one of these cards. Search your deck for it, find one, put it in your hand, then you can replay them again and get a second one. But yeah, he's gonna find your vehicles and your locations. Now this is also going to include, no, it's not going to include her regular one. Just the basic ones probably, but still fun. So we're gonna be able to find things like X-Jet, Vehicle, and X-Men. Exhaust the X-Jet, generate a wild resource for a player whose identity has the X-Men trait. Again, works really well with leadership, where you're helping all your allies if you're all playing X-Men. Forge really outdid himself with this beauty. Yeah, so you can generate one for any other player. We can also look for Utopia, 2 cost support, location, and X-Men. Each of your allies has the X-Men. If each of your allies has the X-Men trait, increase your ally limit by 1. Response. After an X-Men ally enters a play, exhaust Utopia, ready an X-Men character. So definitely fun there. And then, if we want to go to a different location, we'll go to the X-Mansion. Alter Ego action, exhaust X-Mansion, heal 1 damage from a mutant or X-Men character. Any player whose alter ego has a mutant trait may trigger this ability. Yeah, so this is cool, because then you can heal your main character, heal one of your allies, heal one of the other players if you're playing one of theirs, heal your allies, heal their allies. So Havoc does something, he takes 2 damage. Crap, I don't want him to die yet. Let me heal him. You know, great, I can use him again. So definitely cool there. Lots of healing. Then we have 3 copies of Endurance. 1 cost upgrade condition. Play under any player's control. Maximum per player. You get plus 3 hit points. This is just a great card in general. You need a deck. You need some more. Rather than having a healing card, you just want to have more hit points in general. Definitely great. Also, shows Wolverine on here. This would work great with Wolverine. Give him more HP. But it could work well with other characters that maybe have less HP or a little bit more fragile. Then we have our New Energy, Genius, and Strength cards, which are just showing off some of the X-Men. Definitely fun there, new pictures. Alright, then for Storm we have her obligation. Claustrophobia. Give to the Aurora Monroe player, flip to your alter ego form, you cannot change forms. Alter ego action. Exhaust Aurora Monroe, remove claustrophobia from the game. Now this one's actually kind of fun, because this thing's basically like, nope, you have to waste a turn to get rid of this. Like everybody else's things, for the most part, generally give you the option to either exhaust your character and lose a turn, or take a little something like point of damage, discard a card, get a status effect, something. To discard it, you might have to come up with it again. This is literally, nope, this shuts you down. I almost wish, though, that this didn't even remove it from the game, because she always has claustrophobia. I wish it was just, you know, if you got this, it shut her down, and then, like, didn't matter. Like, end of your turn, you get rid of it, you have to draw it, it might come back again. Yeah, I kind of wish it was a permanent thing, but I get why it can't be, because that wouldn't be fair necessarily. But thematically, it would have made more sense. Her nemesis is Callisto. Storm could definitely have a bunch of different nemesis, but Callisto works very well. Leader of the Morlocks, so she has Elite and Morlock. 1 Steam, 3 attack, 5 health. Quick Strike. Force Interrupt. When Knife Fight Treachery is revealed, give Callisto a tough status card. I'm going to ruin that pretty face of yours. Her side scheme is Leader of the Morlocks. Callisto protects the Morlocks, but she won't let anyone question her authority. When defeated, the player who defeated this scheme searches the encounter deck, discard pile, and set aside area for Knife Fight and reveal it. So they're going to bring that Knife Fight into play one way or the other. Got 1 copy of Switchblade, which is an attachment. Attach to the minion with the highest printed attack, otherwise this card gains Surge. Attach minion gains Piercing and 2 attack already. So definitely deadly. And then 2 copies of Knife Fight, which is a Treachery. When revealed in Alter Ego, this card gains Surge. When revealed as a hero, choose the enemy with the highest attack. Take damage equal to its attack. Deal damage to the enemy equal to your attack. Yes, you might defeat them, but they possibly defeat you. If that Switchblade is out, they're also going to gain 2 additional attack out of it, and Piercing. And it says when Callisto, when Knife Fight Treachery is revealed, she gets a tough status card. So then that way, if she's out, not only is she going to do 3 attack to you when Knife Fight enters, you also won't be able to hurt her. Unless you have Piercing for some reason, but I don't think that necessarily works. But that's definitely fun. Then we have Storm's her card list, just in case you're curious. Then we will look at her other cards. So what they've started doing is really fun, is instead of having 3 extra cards for each of the different aspects, they started adding extra little nemesis or encounter decks. That way you can get some of the characters instead of having to always wait for the big sets. Which I think is a really good idea. Because if every character is already coming with their own set of colors, it doesn't make sense to keep releasing more and more and more. It did make sense for the first couple, but now I'd rather have more encounters to fight than just more extra cards. So we have Hangar Bay, 1 cost support. Now, it doesn't have the X-Men trait, so we can't look for it with Forge, unfortunately. But it's protection. It says response. After an ally defends against an attack and is not defeated, exhaust this card to ready that ally. So this could be very good to work with protection if you throw it in a with someone that's playing against the leadership, or with starting leadership, because you could, use it that way as well. Then she has her encounter deck, which is Shadow King. It also works really well with Storm. Since Storm was, Amin Farouk was the one that So here we have Elite and Psionics. This is another Psionic character. So we have a bunch of allies. We had some, we have Jean Grey, who's one of the heroes that's had Psionic. We've also had a couple of the bad guys with like Emma Frost, and now we have Shadow King. So hopefully Psionic starts playing a really big thing in the game at some point. There's been little things here and there, but not a ton. So the Shadow King has 6 health, 3 Steam, 3 attack, Elite, and Psionic. When a controlled minion is in play, the Shadow King cannot take damage. When revealed, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a copy of Possessed, attachment, and reveal it. Shuffle your deck. His side scheme, Ruler of the Astral Plane. When defeated, discard one copy of Possessed from play. Boost. If you are engaged with a controlled minion, reveal this card. Just fighting Storm there. 2 copies of Possessed. So this is a condition. When treat attached ally as controlled minion with the blank text box. Attached minion's scheme is equal to the printed thwart and does not take consequential damage. When revealed, attached to an ally with the lowest thwart without Possessed attached, you cannot. This card gains Surge. So basically, you're going to attach this to them, and they're going to become a villain that's going to keep scheming every turn. It has to be an ally. So it won't ever attach to your main character, which is kind of nice. It'll attach to your allies, which could really take you on. Again, playing this against the leadership deck, you're going to have more allies out to possess. I am also curious, I have to look this up, I'm not going to do it in this video, is Enchantress also has the ability to attach a card that lets her take control of people. I have to see if it specifically says controlled. Because it'd be interesting if they had more characters that work like this, so you could kind of mix them together and have some devastating results. Then we have Astral Attack. When revealed, each controlled minion activates against you. If there are no controlled minions in play, this card gains Surge. Boost, shuffle each Shadow King card from the discard pile into the encounter deck. So yeah, he's just going to keep trying to take control of your characters. Definitely a fun, different little character. So then, that was all we had for Storm. Definitely some interesting things there. I just lost where her character card was. There she is. Yeah, she has a very unique deck. Again, where she can kind of play around with however she wants to do. The only other card I do want to show off is not part of her set. This is part of Jean Grey's, or Phoenix's set. She has 2 copies of the Team Up card, which is Soul Sisters. Let me just set that down rather than holding it. So Soul Sisters has Team Up with Phoenix and Storm, max 1 per deck. To use a Team Up card, you have to have your main character has to be one of those 2 players. So either Phoenix or Storm, and that's the only way to put this in your deck. Then you actually play the card. Both of those characters have to be on the table. So that's either both main characters, one's Phoenix and one's Storm, then you can play this card. Or if one of your main characters is Storm, and you can have Phoenix as an ally, or vice versa. Phoenix is a main character, Storm as an ally. Or you can be controlling Phoenix or Storm as your main character when another player can have the other one out as their ally. So as long as both of them are on the table in some fashion, you can play, the person can play this card. But again, only the person whose main character is one of those characters gets to actually put this in their deck. So if you're playing both of these characters, so we already had Phoenix as one of the other hero packs you could pick up. So if you bought that, you got 2 copies of this. You could leave 1 in her deck. You could put 1 in Storm's. It gives you the special 1-cost event, hero action, ready Phoenix and Storm, heal 2 damage from each of them. So yeah, definitely having them both prepped, which is really fun. It's kind of neat when they had them come out ahead of time. Now, Phoenix's deck also includes a Storm basic ally. So again, this could be something where like you don't want to play as Storm as a main character. Someone wants to play as Phoenix. You could also you could take that Storm out of that deck and put that Storm in somebody else's deck as well. And still be able to use this card. I think Phoenix right now is otherwise I think Phoenix is so far only a Cyclops main ally. But yeah, I just want to show it off, so if you're interested in more team-up cards, that's a different way to get that. Alright, so that is what we have for Storm. check out the rest of the Marvel Champions Hero Pack, the rest of the X-Men characters, all my other videos. I will see you guys later. Bye.